models of HR. Okay, what is the objectives of HR models? Why we need HR models? Why we need? HR has to function, right? On which basis HR functions? You know, last time we discussed Dave Ulrich model. That is the way HR functions. That is one model. Okay. Dave Ulrich model is one of the model I already discussed. More than that, what are the models we have? What are the models we had? What are the models currently applied? How the models were developed? What is the first model, and then finally what is the model? Nowadays, in the modern HR context, what is the model is practiced. So now we are going for each to provide analytical framework for HRM that establish relationship among various variables to be researched. What are the variables we have to focus on when we deal with HRM functions, when we operate the HRM system? Okay, so we need certain framework. That framework that we are going to discuss under HR models. You understand? What are the HR practices? The key HR practices we are going to focus under our functions. We are going to discuss under this framework. What are the framework we have to run our HR efficiently and effectively? Okay. What are the models? These are the models we have. Hrm model, Harvard model, Warwick model, 5-piece model, Guest model, Michigan model, soft and hard approach model, Dave Ulrich model. So you don't have all these models. Okay, 5-piece model you have. So some models you need, right? Basically, you need to understand the soft and hard approach you need. Michigan models and 5-piece model you need. Okay, but anyway, I put all the models here. We will discuss one by one. And why, when we discuss, we can understand how HR functioned earlier, how now HR is functioning. You can understand from these models how HR practiced, how HR practiced in the past, how HR is practicing nowadays. We can understand through these models. Anything to ask here? Any questions? Clear? Shall we discuss one by one? Have you understood what is HR models about? Why we need HR models? Any questions? Raymond, why we need HR models now? Can you tell me? I have told already. In your understanding.
These are different approaches to how we will pattern the organization. Like that.
How HR is going to function. Yeah?
Yes.
How it functioned in the past, how it is functioning, how it is to function in the future. So there are certain research done by the thinkers who are proposing based on their variables, by identifying, by testing their variables, they have developed some theories how HR should work. Earlier they said something, this way HR should work. Later they said this way HR should work. Now they say HR should work in this way in the modern context. Do you understand this? These models already been proposed. Now we are going to discuss about these models. Vasundhara, are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, Hrm model. Can you look at this framework? In the beginning, this is the first model. we select people based on the HRP, you know already. Human resource planning, based on the human resource planning, we will select people. Okay, this amount of people we need. That's what we studied HRP. Do you understand? Yes, we already decided this amount of people. Then we have already selected. What we will do once we have hired. Earlier, this is what they expected. Organizational effectiveness is the focus. Organization should function effectively. So that is the focus. So when we select the people, the focus is only what? Organizational effectiveness. So in order to make an organization in an effective way, to run an organization effectively, the employees should be developed. Yeah, development of employees is there. How we can develop? How can we develop them? By appraising. So we have to do appraisal. So from the appraisal, we can identify these people are qualified, then we can develop them and we can reward them. Based on the reward we are giving and based on the development we are providing. Yeah. So organizations make employees let the employees are motivated, and from them organizations are achieving the organizational effectiveness. Do you understand this? This is the Hrm model suggests. This is the first model. Yeah, selection, HRD, reward appraisals are connected. It's very simple. Mainly, they are not focusing anything else. Only selected people, they are developed, appraised, developed, and rewarded. They are working for the organization because they are developed. They are getting reward. They are working for the effectiveness of organizations. So after selection, they focus on the personal development of the organization and the reward system through appraisal. They are working. Let the people to work for the organization, and through that way they are making the organizations are effective. So selection has a key functions. So based on the selections, the organizational effectiveness is considered. So if we bring the good people and if we develop people, if we reward people, then they will work for the organization. As a result, organizational effectiveness will increase. Do you understand this concept? So this is one of the idea HR has. This way HR functions. Okay. This is one of the earlier model. Now, in this model, HR is not focusing what external area. It's not focusing any external area. So the second model, they suggested, no, this is not enough for bringing the organization in an effective position. If you want to bring an organization effective position, you can't only focus on internal area. You have to focus on the external area. Now the Harvard bringing the idea. You have to talk about the situational factors externally. Do you understand? Harvard model is introduced. And you should focus on certain things inside and certain things outside. Yeah. Stakeholder interest is important. Stakeholder interest. Yeah. How organization is managing the employees. Yeah. What is the relationship between the community and the unions and the government with the organizations? So organizations, the relationship between the organizations and the stakeholders. So the interest of the stakeholders, how it is with the organization. So it has to be considered. This is key. And the situational factors connected with the organization. Directly the workforce or the business strategy or the labor market or the laws or the technological environment. These things should be considered by the HR. If HR, in the early model, HR is not focusing these areas. HR is focusing only what? In the firm run model, he is focusing hiring, developing, and he says, if you work in this way, we can bring organizational effectiveness. The second model is coming. No, HR is in the HRM. We have to focus on not internally, externally also we have to focus on. What are the external things in the Harvard model? Okay, Vasundhara, what is the external things in the Harvard model? Stakeholder interest. Yeah?
Yeah,
And
stakeholder
situational
interest.
factors.
Yeah, and situational.
Situational factors. These two things are there. Okay? Already we have policies, outcomes, and the long-term consequences are already there. Yeah, now additionally these two things. So we can go one by one in detail as a theory-wise. Harvard model, shareholder interest. When you take the shareholder interest, organization is surrounded with the different parties who are directly and indirectly affected with the organizational activity. You know already. Organization must balance the relationship between their profit, social contribution, shareholder interest, and the government regulations as well. Now, I already talked about this, so I don't want to read. And the situational factors, there are factors already internal and external, like government regulations are external, labor market, technological things, laws, some management philosophies. So these are the things we have to consider. So based on the situation, we have to deal. And some HR policies. So here the internal part, human resource flow, right? The flow is connected with the recruitment, selection, training, this one. And the reward system, how reward systems are designed, that is internal. Any employee influence, yeah, how the authority, yeah, responsibility, the level of authority and the responsibility, how it is there. And the work system, how it is designed. So everything is connected with HRM policy. In this way, HR policy should be designed. So HR decisions are connected with HR flow, reward system, employee influence, and workflow. So this will affect in the outcomes, competencies and congruence, and cost effectiveness and competence. So these things are connected with the long term and short term. Like long term, individual well-being should be considered, societal well-being considered, and organizational effectiveness should be considered. So there are outcomes connected with the short term and long term. So how we get these outcomes based on the decision taken internally and the relationship dealt with externally. Okay, do you understand this Harvard model? Any questions here? Okay, how HR functioned earlier and now moved from that point to another. So one earlier form run model, there is no external environment focus. Now, after form run model, Harvard model focus on external environment. Now it is clear. The HR's functions are clearly defined. Okay, in order to bring the organizational effectiveness. So there are certain areas covered. So model, how HR should work. Clear? Harvard model, clear? Warwick model. So this is also another model. It was introduced in 1990. Okay, the University of Warwick. So there are two people did this research, Chris Henry and Andrew. So these two people did the research in Warwick University. That's why this model is called Warwick model. So under this, they have developed certain things. Can you see this? The context is already considered. What is the context? Outer context, that is external. Inner context, that is internal. Yeah, it's like a Harvard model, but see, it's little different. And also business strategy, HR content, yeah, and the context. They are telling the content and context is important. Yeah, That's it. What's it? HR should focus on the context. Economical, social, technological, political, competitive context should be considered. That is outer, external. And inner, the organizational culture, organizational structure, the leadership. There are different leadership. In some organizations, there are hierarchical order. Yeah. So the leadership is totally different from some organization. There is flat. Their leadership is different. So democratic leaderships are there. Okay. Sometimes different leadership styles are there. So you have to understand inner context of the organization. What is the leadership and the technology they are adapting and the business outputs they are getting. So everything should be connected. Inner context should be considered and the external context is considered. At the same time, business strategy, the content should be considered. What is our objectives? What is our vision, mission, objectives, strategies? Yeah, everything should be connected in our business. So HR should understand the business well, should understand the external context well, understand the internal context well, and also the content, HR context connected with the role that they are going to play. Right? Defining the role and the organizational role and HR outputs, everything should be considered. What is the context they are going to work, and the content, how HR is going to function as a system. What is the work system of HR? What is the reward system of HR? What are the employee relations are going to deal in the future in this connection? So based on the context, what is the content? So this is the model given by Warwick University. So Warwick model. Do you understand the difference? Harvard and Warwick. This is also one of the model. Okay, clear? Maria, what is the difference Harvard and this Warwick model? It's almost same but different name, no? But the focus is context and the content, but the weight is not same. Weight is changed. Am I right? Raymond?
Yes, sir. I'm just a little bit confused.
Yeah. Tell me. That's what I'm asking questions time to time. If you are confused, please. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
I will try my level best.
The flow only. So to my understanding, the content here mentioned the workflow reward system, but the context. No? There's a line coming from HRM to HRM content to HRM context, and HRM content to business strategy content.
Yeah,
so that means
do you want to explain that way? I can say I generalized now, earlier generalized. If you want to go specifically, I can go. For example, here HR and contents is there, but how we get that HR and content? How can we get that? From the strategy. You understand? We know already these things. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes. How can we get the HR and content? The way we are going to deal with internally and externally. Inner context. Yeah. We just go and see the inner context. From the inner context, we can design the content. Yeah. And the external context, we have to consider to inner context. Okay. For example, if there is a technological environment changes, we have to think about the technological things inside. Okay. So external context should be considered when we go for the internal activities. Okay. The internal context will be designed by the external context. And these contexts already, not only that context, HRM context also will be decided. Everything is connected with what? The inner contexts are connected with strategy, business strategy, and HRM context. Okay. Inner context is connected with this business strategy. Okay. And also HRM context. How HRM is going to work based on the context. How the inner contexts are coming from the external context. Do you understand? This is what the flow, because this is the theory basically. For this theory, there is a book. You understand? One book. We can talk in each detail. For the notes, I have given some. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Clear now, sir.
Clear. Okay. Just to have that model in our mind. How HR is proposed to work. This way work. When you work this way, then organizational effectiveness will be there. Organization will be successful. HR will take this role this way. He is going to look at the business strategy content, and also he is going to look at the HR content. Yeah, based on the context. What is the context? He is going to work on external, internal, and HR context. Do you understand this now? Raymond, clear?
Yes, sir. Clear now.
Vasundhara, how about you?
Yes, sir. It's clear. Like it's almost like the Harvard model.
Yes.
Only the difference is the way that we look at it.
Look at it. Now we are putting that.
We are focusing on content.
And then content. But the same. Almost same.
Yes, almost the same.
But weight is different.
Yes. What do you mean by that?
Weight means the way we weave content, context weave. That is the weight. The weight is totally different.
Yes.
You know, when we weave the content and the context, our weave is totally different.
Right.
You understand?
Yes, but the process is the same. It's just
almost same. Almost same.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. What is the difference between the Fabren model and Harvard model? External not considered.
Yes, Fabren is model? Let's say the basic.
That is the very basic things.
Yes. Yeah? It's the beginning of HR, I would say.
That's the beginning part. Yeah. Early HRM is focusing on this.
Yes.
They will bring people, they will develop people, and
Praise,
they believe that
and
organization will come up if you focus on these things. No. Right. Externally, we have to think of. Yeah. When you think about the external things, now they are defining, we have to take that concept as content and context. Okay. Right. Clear. Now another model, 5P models. Okay. What is that 5P models? Purpose, principles, process, people, and performance. These are the 5 P's has to consider when we run the HR functions. What is purpose? We have to always think about the organizational purpose. Yeah, vision, mission, primary things. This way he is explaining. Yeah, this one introduced by whom? Randall Schooler. Yeah, 1998 it was introduced. Okay. Purpose. HR should understand the purpose of the organization. Vision, mission, primary objectives, everything should be understood. Yeah. From the purpose, he has to define principles. So organizational protocol, yeah, everything should be designed. And from the principle, process should be taken. These are the process we have to follow in organizational architecture, system, methods, and operation should be designed. Okay. Based on the principle, the process will be there. Based on the process, people are going to work. Okay. And the people, when they work according to, based on the purpose and principle in the process, if they work, the performance will be aligned with the purpose. Do you understand? Employees' performance should align with the organizational purpose. So performance are connected with the how people are processing. The process are connected with the principle. The principles are connected with the purpose. Do you understand this P? Vasundhara, I'm asking, sorry. Vasundhara, if you have understood, fine. Otherwise, I will ask Ayan. Ayan, any questions?
No, this is fine.
Yeah.
No questions.
No questions. Okay, Maria? Raymond? No. So this is also one of the model proposed. Yeah, 5P models. So why we are discussing all? Again, how HR started functioning. Yeah, has to be functional. Okay, how can function? So they are giving some models for functioning that HR. Okay, what is this model? Guest model. This is also another model, HR strategy. So based on the strategy, there will be practices. So, and also outcome. There are outcomes connected for HRM outcomes and behavioral outcomes. Okay, if you focus on these behavioral and HRM outcomes, then performance outcome will be there. Because of these three outcomes, financial outcomes are there. Okay. So if you want to have financial outcomes, we have to go and focus on the performance outcome. Performance outcomes are connected with behavioral outcomes. Behavioral outcomes are connected with HRM outcomes. HRM outcomes are connected with HRM practices. HRM practices should be from HRM strategies. Okay. HRM strategies are connected with business strategies. Okay, fine. Any questions here? The models, we are discussing the models, how HR should think.
So basically, sir, for this model, looks like that if the because behavior
outcome model. Earlier we discussed content and context model. This is outcome model. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. For the guest model, no?
Yeah, for the guest model, now we are talking about outcome.
So if the employees are happy, they're motivated and cooperating like that, so their performance will improve. Therefore, it will give the financial outcome. Okay. That's based on, of course, why will the employees be happy? Because of what HRM is doing for them.
Yes. Now you understand this.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. Based on the practice, HRM practice, there will be outcome. Yeah, HRM outcome. Their flexibility, quality, and commitment. So this will lead to employees' outcomes. Yeah, motivations, organizational citizenship, and corporations. Employee will do. So they will be, the behavior will be changed, and this will lead to performance of the employees. And if it is positive way, then that's positive. Negative way, then negative. So it will impact in the financial outcome. Yeah. If HR practices, yeah, not up to achieve the outcome, if the HRM outcomes are not focusing commitment, quality, and flexibility, then financial outcome will be affected, because it will affect again the behavioral outcome. Behavioral outcome will impact on performance outcome. Then finally financial outcome. Okay. So model, this is we are discussing only the models. Okay, there are models like this. Okay, clear? Now here you can see HRM strategy. There are different HRM strategies, the differentiation strategy, focus strategy, core strategy. I always talk about this. Okay, based on this strategy, then there will be certain outcomes. For example, innovation strategy, what expects commitment. Focus strategy, expect quality. Or core strategy, some flexibility. For example, so if they are expecting these outcomes, based on the outcomes, there will be behaviors. Yeah. And based on the behavior, there will be performance. Maybe high performance or low performance. If the low commitment low, then performance will be low. If the quality low, then again the performance low. If the flexibility is not there, then again. So when the performance are down, performance outcomes are down, automatically financial outcomes, the profits will be down. You understand? This is guest model says. 1998 to 2001. So he proposed this model. Guest proposing this model, outcome model. Okay, you can read the notes, no problem. He talks about the compliance and commitment. So notes are there, just read it. No problem. Michigan model. This is another model, Michigan model. Okay, if you go to Michigan model, this is the Michigan model. What he talks about, how HR should function. Everybody bringing a small changes and bring some different view, yeah, how HR should function. So this is also one of the model. How HR should function. Organizational structure should be designed with based on the organizational mission, vision, strategy. Okay. The firm should design the organizational structure. They have to structure the organization according to organizational strategy. Organizational strategy should be considered while delivering the HRM. At the same time, HRM should think about organizational strategy. So these are the key things. So these three things will be considered external things connected with political, economical, social, cultural forces. Now here they are introducing forces, external forces and internal things. How organization should work, especially how HR should work in the organization, considering the internal things and external things. Okay. This is Michigan model. In the Michigan model, describe the like it's described as the hard approach. This is hard approach. Okay, this is Michigan model is called hard approach because Michigan model focus on business strategy and perceives employees as a resource to help organization to achieve goal. Emphasize the model. Best organization can use its resources to respond external environment. So based on the environment, they have to use the internal resources. Okay. The model based on matching employees' business needs. They have to utilize the employees based on the employee needs. Okay, HR department will be managed and maintained only to support overall business objectives and goals. We already talked about this, so I don't want to go. In this model, there are key areas: recruitment and selection of the employee suitable for meeting the business objectives. So we have to think about the business objectives. Accordingly, we have to go for recruitment and selection. And performance and monitoring should be there according to business needs. A reward system performance should be there accordingly, and the training and development meet the business objectives. So HR will always focus on business objectives. All the functions of HRM will be focused on business objectives. Accordingly, the structure will be there. And all the structures and HR functions connected with the external things, connected with cultural forces, political forces, and economical forces. Those are external. Okay. Michigan model, there is a human resource cycle. You have to understand this. The selection will be there. Performance are based on the selection. The performance are focused. The performance can be appraised, and from the appraisal, we can give them reward, and also we can develop them. So rewards and development can be given, yeah, in order to achieve the organizational objectives. Right? People are rewarded and developed according to the organizational objectives. So the selections, the developments are connected. If the developments are not focusing what we expected, then again they have to think about maybe the selection process are problem. So we have to again think about how we select people in. So HR planning should focus for the selection again. You understand? Okay, Michigan model. So selection process, just read it. All the notes are there. And last one is, before last, soft and hard approach. This is also another important approach we have to understand. Soft and hard approach. In your syllabus, we don't have all these, but I'm giving you in order to understand the concept, how HRM can function. Up to now, do you understand? Do you have some idea how HR functions, proposed to function with the certain models proposed by certain thinkers?
Yes, sir.
Vasundhara, up to now, clear?
Yes, sir, up to now it's
Now, yeah, now we are moving into soft and hard approach. Yeah, okay. So basically the hard approach, low commitments are there, because in the hard approach, generally the organizations are focusing employees as one of the resource. Okay, they are not focusing. We can see when we compare this, we can easily understand both. We can easily understand this. Just read the notes. I don't want to go and read that. From here, you can easily understand. Okay. Here, employees are treated another resource. In the software approach, how employees are treated? Most important resource. Do you understand these two? Employees are given more focused here. Here, they are taking employees as one of the resource and treat them accordingly. So they are not caring much about the employees' well-being. They need things to be done in order to achieve organizational goal. Yeah, achieve things. But in the soft approach, no, employees are considered much. And they are considered as one of the source for getting the competitive advantage. So they are very important resource, most important resource to achieve competitive advantage or market leadership. Here in the hard approach, they take as a resource. Yeah, one of the resource as like machineries, materials and all. See the viewpoint, how they weave, hard and soft. Okay, clear?
Sir, example maybe of the hard approach. No, some management, if someone resigns,
Yeah.
they say you can easily be replaced like that.
Yeah, easily.
So,
they think, yeah, no, we don't care. You want to go, no problem. We can find another person. Huh? Because
yes.
they don't feel that we are losing one resource. It's a valuable one. Yeah. Sometimes if the person going to other place, sometimes he will work for other company, because of that his contribution, there is a possibility to the company become company, taking the leadership, competitive advantage in the market leadership. So people are leaving and bringing, one company, people are not cared as a important resource. These people are moving to another company where the people are considered as an important resource. What will happen? The organization which is considering as a resource only, they can't get the market leadership, no, because they want things to be done only. But here they ask inputs from the people. Okay, they look after the well-being more. Okay, do you understand?
Yes, sir.
The focus is totally different. Long-term focus. Yeah, hard approach is short-term focus, but soft approach is long-term focus. Okay. Here, when you take the leadership style, soft approach, hard approach, autocratic leadership. The hierarchical order, they want let the people to do everything. They are not asking anything. But in the soft approach, democratic leadership style. So they will ask people, okay, they will get the input from the people. The structure model, taller organizational structure, the hierarchical structure. But soft approach, flat structure. In the hard approach, motivations, not very much. But here in the soft approach, there will be great motivations. Yeah, in the soft approach, communications are limited. In the hard approach, the communications are limited. The soft approach, there is a very good communication, two-way communication, strong communications. So do you understand the difference now? Hard and soft. Okay. Now, when you read it, you can easily understand. Okay. Hard approach. Workforces are, the people are considered as only the resource, one of the resource. But in the soft approach, they are considered as the most important resource. Motivation level, high in soft approach, hard approach, low. Communication, poor in hard approach. The soft approach, two-way communication. And the supervision, management style, autocratic, democratic. Yeah. The hierarchical order, soft approach, flat, and here the taller. Do you understand these all? Now you can easily understand it. By reading these things, you can understand the features, key features connected with the soft and hard. Read it and try to understand. So I don't go, once you have understood, if I go and read again, then it will be a confusion to you. So try to understand this concept by reading. The last one is Dave-Ulrich model. That is the latest model in the modern context. I have already discussed this. Okay. Strategic focus, operational focus, people focus, process focus. He is talking about those four. Under strategic focus, what is the role of HR? He defined it. He is going to act as a change agent and also act as a strategic partner. HR will function as a strategic partner by working as a strategic partner, taking the role of a strategic partner. He is going to contribute in strategic planning. Okay, should be partner in business line, and he has to bring the culture and image. Yeah, he has to design these things strategically. And the change agent, he will utilize, when staffing, the organizational design, performance management, enablement, everything in the area, he will always think about change. How can bring our organization to another level? So he will be a change agent. And the people side, he will be an advocate. So he will represent things connected with the employee relations, labor relations, safety, compensation, diversity and equal opportunity. He will think about this, the people side. In administrative side, he has to set up the process connected with the administrative functions connected with the HR functions, like the role of the administrations connected with the HR system, compliances, compensations and benefits, which are administrative area. So he will be an administrative expert, he will be an employee advocate, he will be a change agent, he will be a strategic partner. So focusing on strategy, he will act as a strategic partner and change agent, focus on the people, he will focus on the employee advocate, the process, administrative. Do you understand this? I already discussed this.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we have these models. Why we have these all models? Again, I'm asking. HR, how HR started to function, then later, okay, thinkers, put some kind of thinking. HR should focus on the context, content, then outcomes, then again, the resource, human resource functions, how resource to be considered, how human resource to be treated, and the role, how in the modern contemporary situations, how HR in the modern situation take a role. As we discussed already, from administrative role to function role to strategic role to business partnership role to outside in approach. Now, Dave Ulrich is the latest one. He is having outside in approach connected with this role. HR has to take the business partnership role. In the business partnership role, he is going to act as a change agent, strategic partner, employee advocate, and administrative expert. This is how he is explaining.